Hi, everyone. We are joined by 135-pound WBC champion and one of the sport's pound-for-pound top stars, Shakur Stevenson. Shakur, I know you're getting ready to get back into the ring July 6th, but before we get into your big fight back in the summer, everyone's talking about this Ryan Garcia-Devin Haney fight. I know you've been talking about it as well, too. We're a few days removed from one of the biggest fights of the year so far. Just wanted to get your general reaction to how everything transpired.
It was a surprising victory. Um, Something that I didn't expect, and hats off to both of them guys. They put on a great show.
Mhm. How surprised were you that Ryan just shocked the world, shocked all of us? Because outside of his team, not a lot of people were giving him a chance to beat Haney.
Yeah, I'm one of those people's, and honestly, I was very surprised. I didn't think that he had it in him. I didn't think he had the boxing skills to do that, but he proved me wrong, and he had boxing skills. He had power, and it looked like it was just his night.
Mhm. You've had back and forths on social media with both fighters, but obviously you know there's a level of respect between you guys as top level fighters. What is your message to Haney as he rebuilds himself into becoming the guy again as he wants to be?
My message will be take some time off. Gather yourself together before you just jump back in the ring, and I would suggest him taking a lot of time off and getting his head right.
Mhm. Do you think that was a career altering beating? I mean, we saw what Terrence Crawford did to Errol Spence last year. Do you think that was that caliber of a beating that Ryan put down?
Yeah, it definitely could be, but it's still question marks on both of them, on Haney, and question marks on Errol Spence. I don't know how they're gonna come back from it, but hopefully they get it together.
Mhm. With you've sparred against them, you've fought with them in the amateurs. What was your takeaway from that entire sequence? You're a very involved player in this fight. You could eventually face these guys down the line. I know Ryan's a little bit more heavier now, but you could eventually face these guys
Yeah,
down.
but before the fight, he said that he'll fight me.
Mhm.
Before the fight, he said on Twitter Spaces, he said that after this fight, if he can't get the Tank rematch, that he'll fight me.
Sounds like that would have to be at some sort of a catch weight you're comfortable with. What would that be?
I mean, he could make 143. We see, so I mean, around that weight, I think we could negotiate and talk about it. But I think something that we both comfortable with, something that's not going to drain him and not too big for me.
So 143 is an ideal number for you?
I don't know. I don't know. But something around that for sure. We
Mhm.
we see he can make the weight, so we could negotiate and sit at the table and come up with something. And I think that's something for me and him to do.
What do you make of Ryan missing weight? Seems like he did it on purpose. Seems like he did it to get a one up on Haney into the fight. What do you make of that? Does that tarnish the win a little bit?
Now, I don't tarnish the win just because the fact that he put on a hell of a performance. But I don't agree with that. I think that he should have. I mean, I think all in all, I think it was on Haney team though too. They accepted it. I think that they should try to make him cut a little bit more weight. At least try to lose some type of weight instead of just worrying about the bet. But I think that was more so on their team. But if it was me, I would have had his ass at least make 142 pounds at least, so he could be a little bit more drained than just coming in there feeling really good.
Mhm. Of course, you've been on that other side of the situation.
3 pounds is a lot too.
Yeah,
You
and
said you said what?
I've said you've been on that side of the situation too with your fight against Robson Conceição when you
Yeah, but I was like 1.5. I wasn't three
right.
pounds. 3 pounds is crazy.
Right. Can you take us through the backroom negotiations, what that's like, being in that position?
Uh, I mean, I mean that's more so for my team. They kind of went through it and they just let me know. I just had to pay some money to him and give money up to Robson Conceição. And
Gotcha,
he was cool with it and everything was good. But like I said, 1.5 and then 3 pounds is like a big difference.
gotcha. My question was just to give the viewers an idea of what happens behind the scenes. So thank you for shedding some light on that. So you got this fight July 6th coming up, Newark, New Jersey, another hometown fight against Artem Harutyunyan, who fought Frank Martin, gave him hell in that fight, and Frank really needed a rally late in the rounds to sneak away with the win. Uh, this was obviously one of the opponents that was presented to you. Was this the opponent you wanted, though?
That was the only opponent that was presented to me. I didn't get another opponent. And honestly, yeah, I was cool with it because Tank is fighting Frank Martin, and I'm fighting Artem. They just fought each other. It's a way we can gauge off of these performances and see like, okay, with Tank fighting Frank Martin, if Frank Martin do good with Tank, and then I beat up Artem, like people could gauge and see like, the difference and that kind of stuff because two top guys at 135 pounds is me and Tank. So honestly, I feel like I guess with this fight and with him fighting Frank Martin, we could gauge a lot more off of and see um the differences.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, styles make fights too, so that stuff don't matter either.
Mm-hmm. I recently.
But for the fans, it's interesting. Sorry to cut you off,
Oh no, not at all.
but
Not
for
at
the
all.
fans, it's interesting.
Not at all. There's a little bit of a glitch in our connection, but it's totally fine. Um, I recently talked to Bob Arum. He told me that this is your last fight under contract with Top Rank and that he's looking forward to re-sign you. I'm curious how you plan on navigating your career moving forward, and if being a free agent like your stablemate Terrence Crawford or the likes of Devin Haney, Canelo, some of these other top stars in the sport, if being a free agent and assessing fights on a fight by fight basis is the direction you want to go, or re-upping with Top Rank with them giving you the fights you want is the direction you want to go.
I don't know. We're gonna see. As of right now, I can't tell you exactly what I'm gonna do. But like I said, I'm just watching and paying attention and taking my notes. And after my fight July 6th, I'm gonna have a decision to be made. And but I do like the free agent thing where you could go and fight one fight deals and two fight deals. I think that is a good situation to be in.
Gotcha. I mean, we've been seeing how Canelo and Devin Haney have been making it work for themselves. Terrence Crawford as well too. I mean, one fight they're on Matchroom, one fight on PBC, one fight on Top Rank, and they're essentially spinning the circle, getting the fights they want, and at the right time they want. I feel, something like that is the perfect way for you to get the Tank fight after this one with Harutyunyan. If you're a free agent, you do everything in your powers to make the Tank fight. Is that the kind of the direction you're also looking into?
That's the game plan for me. That's the end goal right now. It's not the like end goal, but that's the situation with fight I'm able to do how I want, and that's the fight that's gonna be able to kick I'm gonna be able to kick the door down with. So, honestly, yeah, that's the direction I want to go in. Um, but like I said, after July, we got Artem in front of me. July 6th, we got to put on the show and we got to stay focused on what's in front of me because this is boxing at the end of the day and things changes quickly and anything can happen at any given time. So um I gotta stay focused. I gotta just focus on Artem, and I know that guy is coming to win the fight. So I just gotta make sure I'm locked in and handle business on July 6th.
Absolutely. I mean, we almost saw him shock Frank Martin. Like I said, if it wasn't for the late round knockdown, he ran out of gas, ran out of wind to finish the fight in a way that would have gotten him the decision. Seeing that fight and scouting him the way you have, do you think Frank Martin beats Gervonta Davis in June?
Honestly, with or without that fight, I didn't think that could beat Gervonta Davis. I think that the skill level is just too high for him, and I think that Tank could beat him.
Mhm. There's another mouth-watering fight for you, and that is something Top Rank can present. It's a title unification fight against the winner of George Kambosos and Vasily Lomachenko. That is something that, that Lomachenko fight has been kind of dangled in front of you for a while. And it feels like, if not now, when? We kind of saw it with Terrence Crawford and Manny Pacquiao. That fight never happened under the Top Rank banner. And Pacquiao's star wasn't used in a way to boost up Terrence. You're perhaps in a similar situation where if the Lomachenko fight is not presented to you, then where does Lomachenko go after this? Because all the guys at 135 are going to eventually move up. Is that the fight you would take with Top Rank after Haratunian?
Yes, for sure. I think that's the fight right there. I think that, like I said, with boxing, we don't know what's gonna happen, so we gotta sit back and we gotta watch. And if he looks real good with Kambosos and going there and do what I think he's gonna do, I think that me and Lomachenko should be next. I think that that's the next fight to make, unify the division, and I think that's gonna be like passing the torch. A lot of people don't really know that. Honestly, this is like me being honest. Lomachenko is like one of my favorite fighters. Like that's one of the fighters that I kind of watched a lot coming up, and um, it'll be very lovely to share the ring with him. But as of right now, it's my time. So you put him in front of me, I'm gonna have to handle business. So um, but I think that he's a hell of a fighter. I think that that fight should happen, but that's more so a Lomachenko question. I think that that's his team, and his team got to accept the fight, but hopefully we can make it happen.
And I'm sure you want him to look good too, because no one wants to say Shakur beat a faded, old, beat down version of Lomachenko too. So I'm sure you're looking for Loma to look strong, look like the pound for pound great that he was back, and to have a turn back the clock performance.
I think he is. I think that's what we're gonna see. But like I said, this is boxing and anything can happen. So that's how I'm looking at it.
Mm-hmm. There's with your last fight, obviously a lot was said. It wasn't the most pleasing fight, as you went on and admitted. It appears that it's affected your pound for pound rankings across some of the higher esteemed publications and sites and so on and so forth. What is your message to people and critics who are just looking at that last performance as who Shakur Stevenson is as a fighter?
That's my message. Fuck them. I don't think they matter. I think that fuck they list. Fuck what they think. I don't care about nothing they got to say about me. Um, I am the best boxer in the world. I am the best boxer on the planet. And ain't nothing that they can say or do could make me feel as though somebody is better than me. I don't even realize, I don't even understand how a guy can win a world title in another weight class, his third division at 26 years old, and you could take him off the pound for pound list for winning. I never heard of that. I just disagree with that. But I mean they could say what they want, do as they please, but none of they fighters could beat me. So that's how I feel.
Mm-hmm. It's a catch-22, right? You want to please the fans. You might put yourself in a firefight and in a position where you might get in a war that you're not really planning for. And then you look good the way you do, where you're boxing, putting on a performance like we've seen with Sweet Pea, Pernell Whitaker, Floyd Mayweather, and the likes, and really a sweet science performance. And then the critics say, "Oh, this is not pleasing to watch on TV." So, how do you navigate this moving forward, knowing that that's kind of the main thing, the main narrative that is being out there for you? Are you going to try to just make these fights a little bit more interesting?
I mean, I'm gonna come and do what I gotta do, but you gotta understand, right? If you put a fighter in there and they going against another good fighter, right? And that's why I say fans is I mean the people that come up with these lists and they don't know nothing about boxing. But you put a fighter in there with another good fighter, because Edwin Dollar Santos is a good fighter. But I'm in there with one hand. I got one hand. Now I'm fighting in little gloves, 8-ounce gloves. The kid got power. I mean, what do you expect for me to do? You expect me to come in there and win. I can't stand there and trade and fight against a fighter when you only got one hand. You can't do that. There's no way possible you're going to be able to win that fight. So I just disagree with the logic of, okay, somebody had one off night, but he gave you 5 straight great performances. How can we take him off the pound list? How can we say that this guy is not that good? How can we call him boring, but he was entertaining 4 fights in a row? I don't. Now I can see, no disrespect to like a guy like Rick, a beautiful boxer, but he done had like consecutive performances where it wasn't a lot of action and it was more so just moving around and outboxing people. That's like, that will make sense to me. Like, okay, okay, y'all call him boring, I get it, but nobody could beat him. That's how I would feel about it. But with me, it's like I give y'all 4 performances in a row, and I please the fans. I stand in the pocket. I didn't have to stand in the pocket with Valdez. I could have moved all around the ring and made it the easiest fight. But no, I chose to make it an entertaining fight for the fans. Jamel Henry. The list goes on. So how can we go take me off pound for pound list and label me as boring from one night after 4 or 5 fights in a row? I disagree with that, and I think in my brain is fuck them. I think fuck everybody who feel that I'm a boring fighter, that I'm not who I say I am, or fuck them. I don't agree with them.
Absolutely. I mean, you've proven that the styles make fights. I mean, when that Mexican style fighter comes at you, Oscar Valdez is a perfect example. We saw you put on that one-sided beating that ended up being the case. I feel like an Emmanuel Navarrete would be another great stylistically pleasing fight for you, because when the fighters come to you, it ends up being a little bit more different. Which is why I think
That's not true either though, because I don't feel like Jamel came to me. I feel like he came out boxing, and I had to go get him. So I don't even agree with that logic. I think that that's a logic for y'all to go with. But like I said, if I have one night and my hand is fucked up going into the fight, and I'm fighting against a stylistically a boxer that's gonna sit back and box, I mean, come on now. There's nothing else that I could do in that situation. I think in that situation is win the fight and go home, and now we live to fight another day, and then we come put on a great performance July 6th. Am I gonna be boring, or am I just gonna be the guy that oh, I fought this guy this way and I fight somebody else this, like, at the end of the day I'm a winner. I'm a winner. So these people can't beat me, and none of these fighters could beat me. That's how I feel.
absolutely. I mean, to all credit to you, I mean, every Hall of Fame fighter has an off night throughout the course of their illustrious careers. And I feel like, right now, the 135-pound division, it's right there for the taking as far as who is going to be the top dog. It seems like you're going to be there for a while, right? So making sure all the fights possible that could be made will be made?
Yeah, I'm gonna be there for a minute, but yeah, I'm gonna take over the division. I think that um a lot of my career already. I was champion at 126, champion at 130, unified at 130, Ring Magazine champion at 130. Just won a belt at 135. The only thing that I feel like I didn't do is undisputed. So that's what I'm chasing at 135 pounds. I want to be undisputed, and I want to go get them belts one by one.
That'll be an incredible feat for sure. You mentioned earlier moving up to potentially face Ryan Garcia at a catchweight. Do the guys at 140 pounds interest you to kind of go back and forth between divisions? Is that something you would do for the right fights?
Yeah, for sure. I would definitely do that for the right fights. I think that if it's a fight that make a lot of sense, and I think that hold up, try to cut this car off. Why the fuck is this shit doing this? But I can't help you with that right. Shut up. I think that if it's fights that make sense, yeah, let's make some fights happen. I'm willing to do that, but if it ain't nothing that makes sense, I want to try this undisputed run at 135.
Hmm. It's safe to say at this stage and age of your career, every fight you're looking to be a mega fight, right? You're looking to turn yourself into that next pay-per-view star as well, too, where everyone puts that Saturday night aside to watch Shakur in that fight. Is that, do you feel you're ready for that right now and moving forward after Artem, that's kind of the stage you're going to be taking on in your career?
Yeah, I'm for sure ready. I'm ready for the big stage. I think that as the lights get brighter, I get better, and I think that I shine right under the bright lights. So just put me on the big stage, and we gonna make it happen. And I'm ready for any and everybody. I'm working. I'm nonstop. I'm never out of shape. I'm always in shape. I'm always working. So, I think it's the dangerous version of me right now. And then, hopefully, we can get one of these big fighters to give me the opportunity.
We saw with Devin Haney, he had to make some consolations in order to make the Ryan Garcia fight happen. More importantly, with the pay, I believe it was a 55-45 split. Are you willing to bet on yourself as well too by perhaps taking the shorter side of the stick for one fight in order to level up 10 times more after that with the win?
Yeah, it wouldn't be the first time that I did it. I did that before when I fought Valdez. I don't mind doing that. I think that I mean, I love making money. I want to make money, but if it's something that'll get my feet in the door and turn me to a big pay-per-view superstar, I'm down with doing that too.
I'll leave you with this, Shakur. What's the one promise you want to make to your fans, to the boxing public moving forward, as far as what we can expect from you?
July 6th, you're gonna see a superstar in the ring. I'm gonna put on a superstar performance, and honestly, I don't even want the fans to jump back on the bed, to stay where they at, and pay to see me lose. Pull up and hope and pray that I lose, because that ain't never gonna happen.